Hey, this is Glendon Cameron, founder of Hustlers Kung Fu, all about making that money without a job. That's what we teach you here. Today, we're going to jump into basic business tips, how to get your cash flow on in one day. Now, this is going to be something that's a little different. This is going to be something that you may not be feeling. You may not be feeling. Let's turn that off. You might not be feeling that at all because many people, and this has been my experience, want to do what they want to do, whatever that might be, with little regard to if their talents, resources, or situation is relevant or will assist in making that money doing that type of thing. Just yesterday's stream where I was talking about, tips, business tips to make it during the Trump years. And people were like, the story of someone coming from absolutely nothing and making a lot of money and becoming a billionaire is like the norm. The dream is the norm. The hope is the norm. Hoping that will happen. The reality is, if you look at the facts, not how you feel, if you look at the facts, historically, from a cultural standpoint, those who have money, power, and position, who have kids, their kids benefit way more than the hardest working person in the hood. That's the reality. And people want to act like that doesn't matter. And this is the reason people want to act like that doesn't matter, because it raises the spear of responsibility. Success inherently is about responsibility. And many people are just like, I just want money. I don't want to be responsible. I don't want to have any efforts. I don't want to sacrifice anything. I don't want to do any of that stuff. I just want the money. Hence the reason people are not getting the money. That's a problem. It's a big problem. And folks are just not really feeling that. So what we're going to talk about are service businesses. You are broke dick Danny, right? You have no money. Nobody in your family has any business skills. There's no uncle who owns this. It's just you, your rents, that's the parents, mom, dad, whoever. And you are attempting to build something with no help. My friend, your journey is going to be long and arduous. And I don't know how many ways to say it, that's just how it is. There's nothing you can do to change that unless, that fact. You can change your life. You can make big moves. You can do this stuff. But for most people who don't have a clue, who don't have help, the fastest way for you to start making cash, like today, is a service business. Now, what is a service business? Exactly what are those monsters? How do you tame them? There's the basic things that everyone knows. There's a car wash, there's being a maid, and there's upper level service businesses. There's hold on a second. I am let's see. Let's do it like that. Oh, that's horrible. That's just horrible. All right, if you're coming here later, this is a live stream. Any deals or whatever I offer, that will not be in effect after the live stream. I'm just sending some stuff to some people here because I get people who complain and they send nasty grams and stuff. But who here has a service business? Who in the house has a service business? And exactly what do you do? How do you make your money with your service business? Don't be shy. Go ahead and drop that info. Let the world know that you're proud to be a proud service provider. I mean, seriously, that's just the fastest way. to make some money. And typically the big hiccup with that is people don't want to do the work. And I'm going to tell you how I got started and some of the stuff that I learned. And I'm going to recommend a book for you folks in a little bit, but that'll be a little later, so you have to stay tuned because we're going to talk about it. And let's put this here. It gets real interesting. Let's see, that worked. It actually worked. There's a lot we're going to talk about this morning, but I am not in the comments because I'm actually sending out this email. Make sure that people get it. Yeah. Come on, we can do this. And we're out of there. All right, let's see what we got going on here. What's up, Benjamin? What's up, Lamode? Uberman. What's up, ACBM Auto Creations? Fix and trim panel on car. Uberman 2010 house cleaning. DJ Easy J Rocks. He worked on that. HVAC Tech. ACMB Auto Creations doing bodywork replacement glass. Detailing, commercial pressure washing. All right, now we got some people in here who have service businesses. So in the comments, and you can only see the comments if you're live. If later on you won't be able to see this. So that's one of the reasons to be sure to get in the house when we're live. Talk about the challenges that you guys go through with your businesses, and also talk about how long it took you to make money. Because see, it's one thing when I say it and people are like, Glendon used this saying all that to make money and sell us your products and blah, blah, blah. Well, here's some other people for the folks who are live, who are checking this out, who are feeling the love. Chandra Lee Kellicorn. Okay, that's different. See, this is the thing. When, and just be sure to watch the video yesterday, it'll be before this one. Resources and the environment really don't give you a leg up if they're poor. And if you're dealing with that situation, you're going to have to do what I did. Like, here's the thing. Let me write this down because I'm going to tell you about the book recommendation in a minute. All right. How I got started as a kid, making money, 10, 11, 12, cutting grass. That was how it happened. That's how it went down, right? And it was a lot of physical labor. It was a lot of work. It was definitely hard. And as a kid, that's how I made money. Back in the day, you could take bottles to the store, just collect Coke bottles, Pepsi bottles, these glass bottles, take them to the store. Interesting thing, if you had those bottles back in the day, you could like put two of them together and pull them apart and make glass rings using the tops. But that's just a little tip for you. I could rustle up as a kid easily $5 to $10 for just going around the neighborhood and looking for shit to do in a day. Easily. And part of that, and that still exists today, it just doesn't exist in the same components because most bottles are plastic. They're not, the glass isn't happening like it used to be. But where I'm going with this is I had to do that type of stuff because I didn't have any skill sets. So if you're coming from an environment where your mom and dad and grandparents, they love you to shit, that's wonderful. That's great. But they didn't have anything else to give you that could really give you a leg up. And love is great, but love is not going to make you wealthy. It's just not. So you get that and you get that legacy, but you don't get any connections. You are pretty much starting from scratch, generation after generation after generation. The cycle repeats itself. It's like, hey, start from scratch, work your ass off, hopefully get pensions or benefits and retire and be broke down in old age. So to circumvent that, and I'm putting this out here for you guys who have businesses, and you should bring your kids to business, to your job, your business. You bring them to your business. They should be behind the counter. And I'm gonna bring this up because I see this frequently with immigrants. Go to a Jamaican restaurant, you'll see the guy's daughter or son serving you, counting the money, learning how business works from a very early age. That is a beautiful legacy to give your children. That is a beautiful legacy. There was this Asian buffet restaurant that used to go in the Stone Mountain, probably still there, and his son be up there handing money, working the register, swiping credit cards. Kid was 7 or 8. That's a beautiful legacy. You'll hear some people like, no, don't make them work. I'm like, what kind of foolishness is that? Not making them work. So having those lessons and experiences in a positive light will help them. Okay, so with the service business, which is really quick, unless you're going to be doing, quote, contract work or invoicing, which means you'll approach a company and say, hey, I'll clean your office for 30 days, and at the end of the month, I'll send you an invoice. I would not recommend that for someone who is not heavily capitalized in the beginning, because then it's pretty much like having a job, and if someone screws you, you still got to pay your employees, you still got to pay your bills. I'm talking B2C, business to customer type service businesses. That's what you got to think. Now, this is, my job here says to Sherpa, to tell you this stuff and to say, hey, it exists and you can do it. Your job is to go here on the internet and find all of that stuff that you can do, because everybody's got a different type of want, desire, and need. Let's see. Come on, what's up with your service guys? See, this is something else. Like, a few minutes ago, I said, hey, for all you guys who have these service businesses, talk about your challenges. Let's see. Only one person, Benjamin, said, it took me 1 day to make money. Took him 1 day to make money. Most people didn't answer the question. Benjamin was the only one. One challenge I'm still having is hiring, training, and getting the perfect staff. All right, this is more of an advanced thing, but I will go ahead and jump on that since Benjamin was the only one that actually provided commentary on the question. Because this is the thing, because many people say, hey, why don't you bring more people on and they will talk about their business? Folks don't want to do that. All right, you got to overhire. And what I mean is, and this is where it gets expensive up front and makes you a ton of money on the back end. You've got to create a car wash, because Benjamin has business, car wash training school. So where you bring your people in and you have a standard operating procedures manual, or SOP. It's like, okay, when a car comes in, this is what you're going to do. And this is where the money is. Every time someone comes in and washes that, they wash that car, it's the same steps. I mean, seriously, it'll be so down to the point where they will approach the car a certain way. They will like, hey, we will, there's two people. You start over here, you start here. They work from the hood, they work back. You create a car wash school for yourself. See, this is why Amazon is kicking ass. Amazon created a lot of proprietary stuff for Amazon because they needed it. So you create this car wash school. You have you give your people, it's like when they meet someone, they open up the door. Each and every time these actions happen. And there's this book called The Ultimate Sales Machine by Chet Holmes. He's no longer with us. And then get that book, Benjamin, and create that car wash school, and you will solve your hiring problems, because you will have a system where you won't have to train anybody. Someone else will come in and your people who are already there will train them, and you hire and fire, and the system works with or without you. So that's how you solve that problem. Good morning, Raquel. Let's see, CJ, we used to charge an initial cleaning fee to get immediate capital. You have to. No worries about the clothing line. Like, that's just for folks who have service businesses. But, for the basics, for you to start something and get some cash really, really quickly, it's going to be a service business. There's a computer service. There is, replacing screens on these bad boys. That's a service business. Just so many things. Uber is a service business. Delivery service. Movers are a service business. Um, when we moved into this house, I mean, and I got rid of a lot of shit. It was still 600 bucks. It was still 600 bucks. And they worked about 2.5 hours because we only moved like what, 10 minutes from the other, because from Dunwoody to Chastain Park area, it was like 10 minutes. And they made money. The owner of the company did. So that's what you got to do. Now, flipping stuff. Okay, let's talk about flipping and let's talk about, I'm going to kind of go back to my path. Young man, cutting grass, washing cars, doing services, helping people out, raking leaves. That was how I made money. Later on, I got into some other stuff, but typically this is your issue here. You have no money, right? But you want to make some money. You can't spend money when you don't have money. So the only thing you have is you, your body, your time. That's what you can offer. And that's what you should offer in the beginning. But here's the thing that makes it a little different. If you go ahead and create your service business and from day one, treat it as a launch pad. Let's say you're going to start a car wash business. I worked with a few people earlier this year. A guy told me, it's like, I don't want to do cars. It's like, okay, what other options do you have to make the kind of money that you can make washing cars? It's like, none. So what you're telling me is you're not in a position to be fucking choosy. He's like, I've never thought about it like that. So if you don't have any skill sets, you really don't have a lot of options here. So we got the car wash business going. Actually, he was going to people's house. He was doing waterless car washes and all this other stuff. And I said, write this goal down. I will run this waterless car wash business for 1 year by myself until I can get help. Because see, this is the thing. Because when you go from that having no money to starting this business to putting this stuff out and you hire someone, you don't see hiring someone as increasing the business. You see someone as shit, that's less money for me. That's what it's looked at. And that's what he says. Like, no, you got to hire somebody. Well, I mean, I'm barely hanging on. I was like, okay, you're not going to grow. You're not going to become bigger. You're not going to make the real money you want to make as long as it's just you. It's just not going to happen. So he went ahead and did this and got to the point where he had 2 employees who ran the business and he didn't have to run the business. And he made about 200, maybe 300 bucks a month less than he was when he was doing it all himself. Now let's look at that. What did he get? He got all his time back and he made 200 to 300 bucks a month less than he was making when he was doing it all himself. He didn't have to get up in the morning. He didn't have to go out and meet anybody. He just collected money. So when you can buy back your time, which is the essence of a service business, it's very important because your time is the only thing, is the most valuable thing you have because you can't replace your time. It's just, you just can't. So that's kind of the path to starting a service business, whatever it may be. There's new apps, and also look at who you are. Like say you're a college student. What kind of needs do people on college campuses have, and how can you fulfill them? That's how you have to be thinking if you're in the position of not having any money. Now, I went through cutting grass, then I left home, I joined the military. I got training to work in a lab, a medical lab. So at that point, I went from where I no longer had to do service businesses because I had a skill set that was in demand. So until you get a skill set that's in demand through a job or business, you're kind of stuck to bullshit. That's the reality. I'm here to tell you the shit that no one else will tell you. Let's see. Yep, providing training is a service business. Shonda, Kellicorn, seasonal business. The mode I do Uber when I have time, it works pretty good. Your book is good. Appreciate it. ACBM Auto Creations. It's really hard to get the business even though I hustle every day handing out cars. I have no clue how to market my business. All right, you need to be talking to insurance companies. They're already ahead of the people. I mean, this is how enterprise rental car got started. Their whole business model was to provide rental cars for people who, and I'm thinking that's it. They were replacement vehicles. That's how they got started. So they started with just serving one customer. So you got to start working with insurance companies. The average person, unless someone's tuning their car, doing some body work or doing some, tricking out some, you want to talk to people who wreck their cars. Let's see. Mr. Izzy Real 555 subscribed yesterday. You have great material. I'm glad I was able to catch it. Welcome to Hustlers Kung Fu. Uberman 2010, Uber can be good. I went all in. So going back on the trajectory of going into the military, then I got that service, that skill set. Then I ran into another problem because even though there was a skill set, I pretty much could find a job whenever I wanted one. This is what happens with a lot of medical jobs. There's bam, you go in at a decent and you just stay there. That's it. If I was still doing it, let's see, what is the salary of a medical laboratory technologist? What's the salary today? I have not looked this up in years. Oh shit. All right. Damn. Whoa. It's is that right? 47,000? Hold on, let's do the math on that. Is that correct? My mind is tripping. I used to work in a lab, like when people say you go to the doctor, people will stick you in the arm and it's like, yeah, we're going to send this to the lab. I used to do that shit. I was bored out of my mind. And machines did most of it. Let's see. What is this? Times. Okay, so on the high end, like 66 grand. On the low end, 47,000. That's wow. That's I'll just go ahead and say it. To compare and contrast, when I started GC Solutions, I did 30 G's in a month. So that was fucking 15, 16 years ago. So me leaving that was well in my favor. Good Lord. That was kind of scary. Uberman, I made 5,000 in cash a month. Service business, I had the idea to go to tech school. Glendon is right. Turn your cash into getting a skill in demand. Is there a service business that does not require driving a car? You're at a disadvantage. You need to go ahead and do whatever you can. Get your license. If you're old enough, Raka Saka. I don't even know how old you are. I'm just kind of, my mind is blown because I think when I left, I was doing 50. And that was 90. I was working I was circa second shift too. There was a shift diff. I was close to 50 in the 90s. So it really hasn't appreciated that much. And that's pretty much what I'm talking about with a lot of hospital jobs. Even nursing, you go in, you stay there, and the only way is that you become like a manager, which very limited slots, or you do something else. But wow, that's very eye-opening. Tony Miller relocated my counseling coaching practice to the west side suburb of Cleveland, Ohio. Needed to do paid ad to attract high income clients. We'll be doing Facebook ads to attract them. Okay, if that works, because thanks Tony Miller for jumping in. I was getting ready to say you should work with learning how to talk to people in the real world. And like Facebook ads, like I said, they can be very powerful, but how can I do this without, I'll just say it. Okay. Let's see. Can I get in there? Let's see. I don't know if I'm logged in. I'm going to show y'all something. This, in reference to what Tony said. Nah, that's not going to work. I'm not signed in. There. Am I signed in on my app? Okay. Hold on a second. All right. Now let's see. All right. Here's my next door thing. It won't turn because it's pretty static. Let's see. Closer, closer. It won't do it. It won't do it. But okay. Google Chastain Park and Google home prices. Just Google it. It'll work better if you do it yourself. Now, these are the so-called high income people that everybody wants to get on Facebook and these other spots. Now, what I do, since I'm a marketer, and this is a marketing lesson, is, as a matter of fact, I'll just show it to you because this is, I think it's going to be pretty big in the future. And I'll explain to you how it works. And this will, because there's a lot of service businesses that actually go here. Okay. It's nextdoor.com. Essentially, you have to, what happens is someone in the neighborhood has to refer you to bring you in, or you get a postcard in the mail, or you just can't like go in and join like Facebook. They will send a postcard, give you this kind of code for you to get on. Now, as far as I know, if you're living in an apartment, you don't get this. This is for homeowners or people who live in houses or condos. All right. And mine, the last two are pretty high income. And one of the things that I do when I look at this, I look at what they talk about, since I'm a marketer, and I'll go check their Facebook page. And these folks may have a Facebook page, but they're not real active on Facebook. They're not spending a lot of time. And when someone, like if I were to go there right now and say, hey, I need a CPA, I would get so many people giving me recommendations. If I needed an interior designer, I would get so many recommendations. So typically people with the higher income aren't really on Facebook. So let me put about that. I know a lot of marketers will be like, oh, he's lying to you, but I'm that demographic and I'm looking at the behavior of my neighbors, and they're not on Facebook and they're not fucking tweeting and they're not doing this stuff. And these are, like I said, go to Chastain Park, 30327, Google, go to Zillow, check out the houses, see what's rocking there. And they ain't there. Not like, people think they would be. So I'm a marketer. I'm on Facebook. I have a lot of friends who are marketers, and I ignore like 90-some% of ads. I'm just like, I'm buying that. Let's see, ACBM Auto Creations. You're right. Insurance companies, but I'm a one-man mobile deal with no shop. It takes thousands to get all the right equipment for insurance company to send you work. So I'm just stuck fixing. Okay, gotcha. So let's go with ACBM Auto Creations. He's got his own thing. Now, this is my recommendation to you. What you need to do, and this isn't because you can't do your own thing, this is you need to get a job in a service repair shop, and you need to be nosy. Keep your side hustle going. Get a job in the repair shop and start paying attention to the stuff that happens in the offices. Started paying attention to the insurance reps, because this is how you can develop a relationship with someone who can send you business later by getting to know who you are now. Now, how this kind of goes back to yesterday. you can create those favorable environments even if you didn't come from them by participating in them. So that's one of the things you could do. Since you're starting a restaurant business video, I have a few kitchen exhaust cleaning jobs. When I add this is another service to my business, they have to have that done. They have to clean all that greasy stuff off to pass their inspection. I would be dropping cars off in every frying, joint that's frying up stuff all day long because they got to do it. So that's another source of income for you. See what happens? He watched how to start a restaurant business and is like, hey, there's another way to make money. Because what we do here at Hustlers Kung Fu, it's all about making that money without a job. And even though I just told ACBM Auto Creations to go get a job, it's a strategic ploy so you can get business later, because you got to develop those relationships. If I went out and started my office furniture business and I had no relationships, it would have been really, really hard. I would have been some cat walking through the door and they didn't know me. And we're talking about opening up lines of credits up to like $500,000. It wouldn't have happened if they didn't know me. So that's one of the ways you can create that favorable environment situation. And these service jobs, you have to treat them as stepping stones, because when I say this, many people freak out. It's like, I want to be a surfer. I want to go do X, Y, and Z. I want to live that laptop lifestyle. I'm not saying you can't do it in the future, but if you have no skill sets, you have no relationships, you have no connections, you're starting from the ground and you got to build those connections and stuff so then you can leapfrog into it. My case is really different because I just took a chance on working in the market that really didn't exist. The reseller market on YouTube is huge right now. It's huge on Facebook. It's huge with Twitter. 2009, it didn't exist. It didn't exist. This thing isn't even 10 years old. It didn't exist. So with that said, by going out, building your businesses, you could be a pioneer on some marketplaces in the future because more is coming. Amazon is big king of online commerce, e-commerce right now, and someone's going to challenge them. It's going to happen. That's the reality. Microsoft, a lot of people never thought that Microsoft would have never went down. They did. They're on their way back up. So you got to go ahead and prepare yourself, because going back to my story, kid cleaning, lawn service, raking leaves, joined the military, got a medical specialty, which allowed me to come out in the recession, get a job really quickly. Then I hit a ceiling because I couldn't make any more money, regardless of how many hours I worked. It used to drive me crazy. Then I got to a position where I fell, and then I had to go out and create more skill sets, more value. And you're not going to do that by waiting until the moment is right for you to jump into that thing that you want to jump into. It's just not going to happen. It's just not. So it's pretty cool. Do we have any more people here with service businesses? Because this is the thing. Whether you want to do it or not, it's one of the quickest ways to help you gain sales skills, money, connections, because as a business owner, you're going to meet probably 100 times more people than you would meet as an average person working the job, unless you're like a cashier or something. And then to take it up a few notches, as a business owner, you're going out and doing, like, say you're washing cars. And this is something a lot of people who have car washes don't do. They don't talk to their customers in ways to get more money. They'll be passive. They may have advertisements or some other stuff around here, but they don't poll or survey their customers. Like, this would be, and it has to be in line. Like, hey, thanks for coming to Blasey Car Wash today. I got a question. Would you like your car washed at home? And would you pay more for that service? And just poll how many people do that, right? And you could carve out yourself an extra source of income from your existing current customer base by asking 4 questions. People don't do it. Once again, go back to the book, The Ultimate Sales Machine by Chet Holmes. So that is the thing. All right, so it is almost that time. Let's see, where are we with this? Okay, cool. I'm going to do a daily special. Now, for my folks who join the live streams, because these things are only available to folks in the live stream. So let me pick something and I'm going to make it a deal for some people. Just got to figure out what it's going to be. So any more people with service businesses, how are you doing? How long did it take you to make money? Joseph Frimpong. My dad has a cocoa butter farm in Ghana. I want to be a supplier for retail stores and small shops and cosmetic companies. How would you go about doing it? I would find everybody that needs cocoa and say, look, I can supply you. It's really not that hard. Uberman, is Atlanta a super great market for starting a business, service, or whatever business? Depends upon the neighborhood. Really does. Just Kim, morning. Facebook is great for getting poor people to middle class or to get the attentions of resellers as they're by there by the thousands. Just Kim, you are 100% correct, because I noticed that a lot of their ads and stuff that come across Facebook, a lot of it's bullshit. A lot of it's just bullshit. So you're 100%, you're just 100%, man, you were on it, Just Kim. If I had a t-shirt, I'd throw it at you. Let's see, video marketing, please. David Boyd, I've been offered document editing and press release writing as a service online to raise money for my expenses in real estate. I've done that in Uber and some eBay. You got to hustle, man. You got to hustle. So let me sit here and think, what am I going to offer? This is going to be a standard. So let me figure out, what am I going to do? What am I going to put out? Let me think. We're talking about service businesses, so let's make it congruent. Because see, this is the thing I can do. Because let's kind of go through the trajectory of this. First thing is, typically, if you don't have any money, you're broke. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create something. It's going to look a little ugly, but I can do this. I'm going to create a bundle, and we're going to call it, actually, we're not going to do that. Just keep putting comments. I'm going to check it in a minute. Let's see. What are we going to do here? Let's move. Can't move that. Aha. Here we go. I found one. All right. Live stream deal. Let's see what's going on here. Sell used and new tires for European on vehicle. I get a lot of work on freelancer sites like Fiverr. Good deal. Live deal. Okay, we'll just leave it like that. Live deal. Okay, that'll work. Let's see, one time. We're going to make it spiffy here. It's going to be 250. I'm going to put, let's see. What I'm going to do, 30 days to 2,500 physical products, 30 days to 2,500 the original course. This is only live stream. So let's see. We'll do that. We'll move that. And I'll throw the credit course in there. Remove that. Remove that. Remove that. Get rid of that. How to never be broke again. I'm going to put that in there. Remove that. Remove that. That's a lot of stuff. I wish I could just check a box and pull all this stuff out of here. Good Lord. It's been busy the last 18 months. Us Hustler Kung Fu webinars from last year. I'm going to leave those. And let's see. We'll get rid of that. hold on a second. I'm going to have to, let's see, move this so I can see the screen. I should leave it there. Let's see, what else do we have here? Service-based bundle. Uberman 2010, I don't understand what it's meant that Facebook can get poor people from the poor middle class. Okay, I'll break that down. That's a good topic to talk about why I am putting this together. I was in a Facebook group with a lady who was getting $1 million clients, right? And she used to do a lot of talks about how she found her business. She didn't get it online. She said millionaires, and this woman was like 60 some. She said millionaires are not on Facebook. They're not on Twitter. She called it Twitter. You see, they're too busy running their business or managing their investments. You have to go where they are. You have to go to where they are. Because if you don't, you'll never get to them. And based upon what she said in my own research to, yeah, I already said 250. I'm not going to change it. I'm going to leave all that there. It's called a live deal. And 30 days to 2,500 physical products, 30 days to 2,500 the original course. Build, repair, enhance your credit course. How to never be broke again. Hustlers Kung Fu webinars from last year, some more webinars. All of that live stream special. Save changes. And let me go make sure I got this. Because I'm going to come back. Oh, I guess. Yeah, I need to publish it or you can't get it. There we go. Typically, everybody wants the upper income people to sell to and do business with. And I'm going to give you, yeah, okay, set up. All right, once again, this is live. This is only available live. It's $250. It's only for folks who are here right now. Once the stream is over, you can't get this price. Just letting you know. So that's the bundle. I should have made it 5, but I got love for my peeps. So I'm going to put this, it's in the stream. See, that's the only way you can get it. I'm not putting it on the video. So it's in the vein. All right, so let's talk about, you know, Uberman 2010. I understand what it's meant by Facebook and get the poor people from poor middle class. All right. When you run a business, you're busy as fuck. And I see people who are business owners who are internet business owners, which I understand. But when I ran that storage auction business, and I had a partner, when I was off, the last thing I was doing was fucking around with Facebook. I was rarely on Facebook. I didn't have the time. It was just reality. So the high income people, typically, once again, Google's zip code 30327, my neighborhood, the one that I live in, I start to look at, you know, when I go out, I pay attention to these people. You're not going to get them through Facebook. HubSpot, and I'm going to prove this to you, does not get a lot of their clients through their online company, but they get their clients through meetups because the people that they need to meet are busy. And they also distrust emails and Facebook ads, and they're not buying. So you got to like actually have an event to meet these people. So typically the people, it's the people who really don't need to spend as much time on Facebook as they do are the ones who need to start businesses, but they got so much time because they're not as busy as they should be. That's the weird thing. My wife doesn't get why I waste time raising money doing freelance work instead of getting loans and using my credit cards more. Your teachings make sense. Do not start your business on a loan or a credit card until it's making cash flow. Just to be clear, I think credit's wonderful. I think it's good. But if your business is not making any money and you haven't figured out how for it to make money, getting a loan is probably one of the worst things you could do. So bravo, David. Running, I'm on my first year doing hot HVAC for a company with a chance to make a lot of money. But it's not a passion. Any advice, and everyone you talk to tells you to do what you got to do, but maybe I'm wired different. Ronnie, you just jumped in here. I just cover that. Fuck your passion. For me to you, fuck your passion. You got to eat. You got to have a place to stay. You need a car. If you want to start a business, you need money. And keep doing that. Live like a monk. Because see, this is where your passion is going to ring true, if it's really a passion. For a year or two, live like a monk. Don't go out. Get a hoopty. Stack as much cash as you want, then leave that company and start your passion. See, if you're really about it, you could do that because it's just delayed gratification. But if it's just like, I got to do it now, all right. All right. I'm just saying, be sure to get that bundle. 30 days to 2,500 would help you tremendously. Pardon running late. My side hustle is servicing solo machines after my regular job. A lot of people have gotten wealthy that way. Made that mistake once, but I paid it back fast. I've gotten loans for businesses and it paid off. I've gotten loans for businesses. I lost 50 G's. That's what I could tell you. Now, once again, I borrowed 50 G's to do this business. It didn't work out. And I had to take money from the resale business, which was doing really well, to run this. And I was just like, that was stupid. I can just tell you, don't take out loans unless the business is already making money. Troy Glover, any new business, you need to run it organic until it's profitable. That's pretty much the model that I preach. Now, there's some businesses you can't do that, but that's totally different animal. We're just going to keep it down here with business basic tips, how to get your cash flow in one day. Service business. Most service businesses, if you as a business can reach out to C as a customer and provide a service, get cash, a check, or credit card that day. That's the fastest path right there. It's faster than resale. Because you can go out to Goodwill or you can go to a storage auction. You could buy like $5,000 worth of stuff for 10 bucks. I've done it, but it's going to take you some time to convert that to cash. Plus, you got to have some place to sell it. You got to have some place to store it. So it's fast, but it's not as fast as a service business. Not at all. So for those of you who are in the live stream, here it is. This is the deal. I'll keep posting it because I have a feeling people are still jumping in here. This is what's called the live stream special. Each day I'm going to do something different. And the only way that you can get it is to be present at one of the live streams. I typically do 1 to 2 a day. And if you're on the email list, I will send you a notification that the live stream is going on so you can jump in. DJ Easy J Rocks. I'm in HVAC I saw on those invoices prices. This company was getting off my labor. I found my passion. LOL. It started small. It started small. All right, we're just talking to. Let me go down. ACBM, the Auto Creations. Okay, what did I tell you to do? Get a job at a body shop so you could do what DJ Easy Rocks. I saw those invoice prices. The company was getting off my labor. I found my passion, LOL, and started a small HVAC business. So keep your thing going, but get in a company so you can make those connections. I'm telling you, and everybody here, watch the video yesterday. I'm telling you, because I've studied this, not like passively. I've studied this for years because you'll have all of these books, The Secret of Success. Start reading biographies. That right there is going to give you much more than a lot of this stuff written by these brand new internet rock stars who are really good at marketing, but are very thin on business experience. I started investing in other businesses this year, invested in a lawn care company that was doing good, but needed a jolt. Okay. You're the investor, you spread money, you're the rainmaker, you can make it happen. You've got those funds, knock yourself out. And typically, if you come across a business, and this is the things that I do now, I tend to partner with people, is I'll find a business that's doing well, and then I'll see how I can make it do 10 times what it's doing and just jump in from that angle. So that's something else too. And we'll talk about that because there are many of you who could probably find a business in your area that you could either take over or buy and get their customer list. That customer list could be worth way more than the price you pay for the business. But let's see, definitely. Now, I know that the service business route doesn't sound romantic. It doesn't sound super hot. It doesn't sound trendy, but with online business models, and I'm someone who makes all of my money from being online. I don't have any physical products yet. This is stuff that's coming. I don't meet a lot of people. It is strictly, this YouTube channel is virtually inbound marketing. Inbound marketing is I put out content, people find it, they're like, hey, I like it. Hey, I don't like it. I like it so much that I'm going to throw some coins his way to help me out. So this is a lead generation device. Now, it took me years to figure this shit out. And the reason I was able to figure it out is we go all the way back to Miss Jones. Miss Jones, your grass needs cutting. That grass kind of high. It's not that high. Miss Jones, instead of cutting your grass for $25, I cut it for $20. The lawnmower's in the garage, Cameron. That happened. It's just those lessons. Let's see. Thanks for all your help. Can you make a video side hustles for people that are too busy already doing 60-hour weeks? You go to 25, because the thing is, just look for jobs. I mean, you're working 60 hours a week. What kind of side hustle are you going to do? Let's get to a fundamental truth here. You're working 60 hours a week. There's what, 124 hours in a 7-day week. So half your time you're working, a big chunk of that time you're sleeping. Where's the time? I mean, you got to think about that, man. Horse feathers should be their name. Get rich. Yeah, that's what I did. This I got the barbershop. Monica in resale 2 months now. It's been slow, lots of work, no doubt. Marketing is tougher. Resale this time of year goes like this. You have the rush after school, and I'm talking about physical resale store, not online. Online store, a different animal. Kids go back to school, pops up, Christmas, then after Thanksgiving, that shit can dry up on you like you wouldn't believe. We noticed that because we ran a physical resale spot concurrently with online sales. And I used to be like, oh my God, if we didn't have online sales, we would be out of business. So that's one of the reasons that I tell y'all, do not open up a physical storefront, even though I'm saying start a physical local service business until you have some income coming in, because the first of the month comes so quick when you got to pay rent on a retail spot. I mean, you be, oh man, first is already? Damn, that was quick. It does not delay. All right, so I'm gonna just let y'all know I'm getting ready to go in a few minutes. If you want that deal, go ahead and grab it now, because as soon as I log off, it's going to disappear and you will not be able to get it. Just letting you know. I'm still bugging on this medical tech. This is really it's kind of got me bugging, because I'm like, damn, that is, wow. Wow. How many people are traveling this year? Have a great day. So once again, if you want that deal, you got to grab it now. You got to give back. Big Short, I'm helping the church for a war vet that needs a fence built. That's pretty cool. Doro Anja, to what extent does greater control of your time outweigh or compensate for the initial lack of money? You really don't have a choice when you don't have any money. These are the United States of America. If you live in America and you need money to make it, or you need somebody with money who will show you favor. Your time ain't shit when you broke, when you can't live how you want, when you ducking whatever. No. So until you get to a certain amount of money, you really don't have freedom or control. I mean, is it living, oh, this came out. This came out the other day. 30%, more than 30% of millennials, these are people 18 to 32, live with their parents. 30%. Since they started keeping these records, as a matter of fact, I'm going to show it to you because that blew my mind. 30% of millennials live with. Let me just go ahead and show y'all that. This is something that I talked about a long time ago. All right, present to everybody. This is the first time that this has ever happened in our history since they started keeping this. For the first time in modern era, living with parents edges out other living arrangements for 18 to 34-year-olds. Isn't that mind-blowing? You know why they can't live on their own? Crushing student loan debt. Nobody will say those words. No fucking jobs that pay decent money. So it's just wow. Let's see. Ronnie, 3 kids and a wife. Maybe I should tell him I'll see you in a few months when my side hustles is doing good. What do you think about offering a mobile notary service business? I know nothing about that. I've seen people do that. I don't really know. I mean, it could be good. It's just have to do your market research. People have things that need tending, service. Yep. CJ, first of the month is tomorrow, and I gotta pay a fresh $750 for my retail space. I know that feeling. The time gets a rocket strapped to his ass when you have. I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of give you. I'm gonna leave that up. Let's see. Actually, let me go back. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that up. This was my first of the month many years ago. It was warehouse rent, $2,500, first warehouse rent, second warehouse, $1,500. Staff, insurance. I mean, the monthly nut was about 45 to 50 G's. So the first of the month, a lot of people were happy with me because I was writing some big ass checks. It is just, it could be rough. And that's why I just say, get yourself a service business and get your cash up, get your credit together, and be prepared to start that service business. Let's see. So millennials live in hustle. I guess they will invest in turf online education sooner or later. Something's going to happen. 6 weeks in the Bahamas in February. Animals, plants, cars being started. 30%. Those student loans are really kicking their ass. I've talked about this. My video, the degree myth. You're seeing the ramifications of what I was speaking of. I'm thinking about starting a smokehouse, smoked meats, and fish. Any vids to check out? You want to go ahead and grab this special, which includes 30 days to 2,500, because it isn't the smokehouse meats, is who's going to buy that. That's what you got to find. Glendon, when do you know you might have too much on your plate? Everything is going pretty good, but I feel overwhelmed. Should be open, but I'm listening to you to get some answers. You got to hire people, man. You got to start hiring. You got to go ahead, and it's going to be a bitch. Institute new hiring practices, but that's the only thing that's going to alleviate that burden from you. You got to hire more people, train them, which means a few steps back. You may slow down a minute. You'll be frustrated. You might feel even a little bit more overwhelmed. But as long as you're doing as much as you're doing, your business will stall. It might even crash. That sucks. Maybe there's a market we can explore. I'm telling you what's coming. And for those of you who think these Trump years are not going to be impactful, wait to what happens when her grandma gets her Medicaid benefits reduced. See, I'm 50 years old. I've been through this before. I've seen the ramifications of this. Let me tell you what's going to happen. Trump came out and said, we're not going to appeal Obamacare. Bullshit. They're going to appeal it. He's already got Duke Price here from Georgia, Senator Price, who hates Obamacare or the Affordable Health Care Act. They're going to repeal. Now, this is the thing. They're talking about repealing the pre-existing condition clause. Yeah. We're rolling back Medicaid benefits. That's going to impact your grandfather, maybe your father, your grandmother, your grandmother, your mother, your grandmother, and you if you're on the cusp of being into that situation. I remember I was talking to a friend who was selling his business, and he said something to me that just shocked the shit out of me. He said, I'm so glad I'm closing this business and I'm turning 65. And I'm like, why? He said, I can get on Medicare. You know, I'm paying $1,200 a month for insurance for me and the wife. This was damn near 20 years ago. So it's going to be real interesting. I see the millennials living with mom and dad, and I see the grandparents moving in with mom and dad, and I see a lot of Waltons, a lot of that Walton. Good night, John Boy. Good night, Mariella. I see a lot of that shit coming back because people will be forced to live alone, to live together like that. Will be forced. Notice a lot of credit cards companies promoting small business. I think that's the next thing. The credit card companies already know, all right, like when you use your credit card, they know what you're spending. They track your spending. And they know that a lot of people are doing business spending on personal credit cards. You damn Skippy, that's big. Dude, there's a lot of market forces. That's why I went to Hustlers Kung Fu, how to start a business. The market forces are dictating. Like, was I wrong about the Amazon thing? Someone put in the stream yesterday, Amazon is suing people. Yeah, I didn't predict that, but am I surprised? I was not wrong with one thing with Amazon. I wasn't wrong with Kindle. I wasn't wrong with the degree myth. I'm not wrong about this. Many people will be forced out of sheer entrepreneurs by necessity, not entrepreneurs of love. Forced to start businesses, and my ass is going to have all this content up here for them to come, and I'm going to make millions. Yeah. I started this shit 3 years ago, though. See, this is what I'm telling you. That's a good lesson. I saw what was coming, and I started prepping 3 years ago. I didn't like, oh, let me do it now, because when this thing really hits, like I think it's going to hit, everybody's going to jump in, and they're not going to have the content. People are not trusting ads. You know, and that's another reason I'm doing these live streams. I can live stream every day, twice a day, and talk about business for the next fucking 5 years. Easy. Why? I've started 12 businesses. I've been through a lot of shit. There's a lot to talk about. Looking for another home to invest next year. Fixer-up's getting hard to find. Yeah, I can see that. And millennials are stuck between a rock and a hard place. Where's the opportunity to serve these folks? They're going to buy food. They're going to buy bullshit electronics. They're going to take vacations. They're going to buy clothes. They're going to watch television. There's a lot of opportunities to serve these people. So, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of stuff that's going down. All right, so this is the last call for those of you who want to get in on that special today. And in the future, I'll do specials every stream. You will have to be present to get it. After the stream is over, you're out. So with that, be sure to subscribe, like, and jump on some stuff here. So you're saying in the coming years, you will see a flood of millennials trying to start businesses? Damn Skippy. Millennials, mom, dad, grandpa, grandma. Yeah, it's coming. Because they have no choice. It's just glad I got on this path, you know, a long time ago. because it's going to be interesting. All right, be sure to grab that special. Once I click off, the price changes and I'm out. So I'll see you guys later.